Devin Miles Haney is a professional boxer currently based in the United States of America. Since 2019, he's held the WBC lightweight title, making him the youngest boxing champion. He's still one of the youngest champions in boxing history. He's also known as the Dream, and under the transnational boxing rankings, he currently sits comfortably at number 3 at the lightweight championship. Today, we'll be discussing some very interesting things about the young boxer, plus some things that only a privileged few know about him. But before we get right into the video, kindly see to it that you subscribe to this channel so you don't have to miss out on any of our amazing content. Also, turn on your post notifications so that you're notified immediately when we release a new video. Now that that's sorted, let's move on. Devin Miles Haney, born on the 17th of November 1998, has won up to 7 national titles, and at the age of 17, was named the youngest boxer to win the Youth World Championships, which was held in Reno. Devin was mentored and trained by his father, Bill Haney, in their marked-out space. Devin the Dream is an undefeated professional who has entered the squared realm practically 25 times in about 5 years. Devin, who's seen as the youngest and hottest sportsman in the field now, has won 7 different belts to his name. His latest win was against Zaur Abdullaev. Just after Vasyl Lomachenko, the lightweight champion, exited the division, the WBC decorated Haney's waist with its belt. Devin has a strong propensity for winning through TKO on 15 different occasions. However, his 10 remaining wins were claimed by decisions on ascent. It was by this unanimous decision that he claimed his victory, retaining his belt against Alfredo Santiago in November 2019. So far, his 2021 has been great, starting off with a triumphant win against Yuriorkis Gamboa. This has therefore put him in line for a boxing match against Teofimo Lopez or a huge compulsory fight against Ryan Garcia. When asked about how his journey to stardom started, he said, "I came from a place where I was constantly booed to a place where when I land a punch, the place goes crazy. I became my own promoter. I was already promoting myself on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. I never needed a big influencer or corporation to push me. I did it on my own. We have the internet and all these tools to promote ourselves. Back in the old days, they didn't have that. There was word of mouth and going up and hanging up flyers," he stated. Devin's father, Bill Haney, was actively involved in purposefully sensitizing the media about the young and gifted boxer. Getting to his fans and the people was important. They had been following him since he was an amateur and watching his videos. So with Mexico, we knew Devin was ready. Our opportunity to film it and bring it back on YouTube for his people, it was a win for us. It was low cost and we were able to do it cheaply, Bill had said. We wanted to be able to operate. We didn't want to get put on the shelf. We didn't want to have any misunderstandings with anyone, whether it be a co-promoter or a promoter. Our main goal is getting Devin to the people, and his fan base keeps getting bigger. At the age of 17, Haney finally turned pro, but then he couldn't compete in the US based on the minimum age regulation, which led to his first set of fights in Mexico. Under the status of a professional, he won the WBC Youth, IBF USBA, IBF North America, WBC International, WBO Intercontinental, and WBA International Lightweight titles, all at regional level. In the month of April 2019, Devin incorporated with British promoter Eddie Hearn's MATCHROOM Boxing in a co-promotional alliance between his company, Devin Haney Promotions, and the MATCHROOM Boxing. "I'm excited about my multi-million-dollar partnership with MATCHROOM Boxing," he said while announcing the deal. "All this hard work is finally paying off. This is a huge chapter in my career. I have a co-promotional deal with MATCHROOM Boxing. Eddie Hearn is the perfect guy for me to go into business with." On the 25th of May 2019, he defeated Antonio Morin with a wicked knockout in the 7th round in his first fight after the MATCHROOM deal. In 2020, Haney came out on national TV during an interview with 78 Sports TV sometime in April, claiming that he would beat the renowned lightweight champion Vasyl Lomachenko. During the interview, he said, "I'll tell you this, I'll never lose to a white boy in my life. I don't care what nobody gotta say. Fight a white boy 10 times, I'm gonna beat him 10 times. After this comment, a lot of critics came after Haney, claiming that it was born out of anti-white racism. In his defense, Haney came out on Twitter and said, "I'm not racist and I never will be racist. I'm chasing greatness." Haney's comments were unavoidably compared with that of Bernard Hopkins, where he said that he would never let a white boy beat me. This utterance was made before his fight with Joe Calzaghe, of which he, Hopkins, lost. As a child, Haney grew up in Oakland, California, but later on went with his father to Las Vegas. He noticed his desire and knack to fight early after he realized that he often loved to get into fights in school. As he began nurturing that desire to become a professional fighter, he was faced with some opposition. People in the business told us not to go. They said it was corrupt. It's this, it's that. It ended up being one of the best decisions I ever made and developed me into the fighter I am today, he said. Devin Haney is involved in some charity work and constantly gives back to his community amidst his early rise to fame and stardom. He developed the great urge to give back to his society right after winning his 24th fight. He took it home to his hometown in California, distributing food and cash to those who weren't privileged enough for such basic needs. His community appreciated his heartwarming gesture. It showed that his heart still belongs home. Haney then put on a social media post highlighting how humble and blessed he is. This was then followed by a sleeping bag and tent distribution to those on the streets. According to Daily Hawker, Devin Haney's net worth was estimated to be $5 million. This was in January 2021. His first WBC lightweight title defense was what fetched him about 20% of that money. Just like Floyd Mayweather Jr., Devin has a promotion company to his name, and it sees him accruing larger sums of money on whatever card he fights on. Devin Haney's company is called Devin Haney Promotions. Boxers generally amass wealth from the major big fights they're involved in and much more when they win. This explains why Devin Haney's value would rise tremendously this year if he's able to make it and win any of his big fights. One general thing about being relevant is that a rise in fame would bring about major endorsement and sponsorship deals. The young WBC champion, for instance, is backed and supported by SNAC, a famous nutrition supplement company. It also has deals with prominent boxers like Amir Khan, Sean Porter, among others. Another brand the boxer is signed with is DAZN, and his role basically is to promote the app. Devin is one person who is actually very confident and public when it comes to showing off his wealth. When there was the global health situation lockdown, Haney posted on his social media page a picture of him beside tons of dollar notes with a caption, "I'd rather be rich than famous." This single act attracted a lot of criticism from fans and people alike. The proposed notion by these critics was that he made an arrogant move. This boxer is no doubt very wealthy, and he's not afraid to flaunt it. His car. Some may be wondering as to the kind of car the young boxer rides. The thing is that during his 21st birthday, his father and trainer Bill Haney gave him his keys to a Lamborghini Urus. This kinetic beast came with a mind-blowing $250,000 price tag. Devin and his father also unleashed a CBD product dubbed WED-M Recovery. As the young boxer continues to climb up the ladder of success and fame, he becomes more marketable and valuable for organizations and promotion companies. This would unarguably lead to an increase in the boxer's financial status and net worth. When he first started, his bouts were attracting payments around $400,000, but now his earnings per fight have more than doubled, and this is because he's grown in relevance. His philanthropic works. Devin Haney, also known as The Dream, is a renowned philanthropist. If there's ever any question about how he spends his money, it should be noted that he's a giver. He takes great pleasure in giving to the poor and underprivileged. He's involved in some charity work and always keeps in mind to give back to his society. Giving back has been so inundated in his system that after winning his 24th fight, the only way he could express his excitement and gratitude wasn't to go around spilling cash on drinks, women, and the likes, but to give back to his people. Many have outright compared the young fighter with the world-famous retired boxer Floyd Mayweather Jr. Although he isn't being directly managed by Mayweather, it's an obvious fact that Floyd is very much interested in the journey of the young boxer. Mayweather has publicly made known his interest in paving the way for future Black American boxers to attain the most success they can in the field of boxing. The tutelage of Mayweather upon Devin would no doubt put him at an advantage as a boxer. At some point, Haney had trained under Floyd Mayweather Sr., Roger Mayweather, and Jeff Mayweather. Professionally, Haney is the first boxer Floyd has taken a particular interest in since his retirement, but no paperwork has been done to that effect. With the rate at which this young boxer is going, it won't be long before he fulfills his dream of becoming the youngest billionaire boxer. This brings us to the end of today's video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and also comment down below on how you'd spend your millions if you were worth $1 million. Until next time, thanks for watching, and goodbye.